Hello everyone. So today we are doing implementation of decision tree using our own datasets. So this is the dataset that we are going to use, which have patient ID, age, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, heart rate, BMI, and diagnosis, and many others. We'll be using age, blood pressure, cholesterol, heart rate, BMI, and diagnosis. Okay, so let's begin. So we'll start by importing our libraries. So import pandas as pd, import numpy as np, and that's it as of now. Okay. Now let's fetch our data. Data is equals to pd dot read.csv, in which will bring our dataset dot csv, and also print the first 5 rows. So pandas as pd, sorry, this would be underscore. Okay, now let's check the shape of our data, that how many columns and how many rows we have. So we have 100 rows and 11 columns. Okay, now we have to check, now we have to take that which will be our input, right? So input data say age, then let's copy it from here. Okay, blood pressure, then we have cholesterol levels. So cholesterol levels, then we have heart rate, we have BMI, and of course we have our diagnosis columns. This is a string column, but we'll be changing this into an binary column. Okay, so let's see the first row of our input. Okay, now it's time to change this diagnosis columns into an binary data. So how will you do that? You do that by input diagnosis is input diagnosis. We will apply a simple condition where we're using lambda functions, where x will be 1, if hypertension, means if in diagnosis column, if we have, let's say, hypertension in any row, then that particular row will be replaced with the value 1, otherwise it will replace with the value 0. That's it. Sorry, there's one problem. Diagnosis, invalid syntax, perhaps you forgot a comma. Lambda, okay, it will be lambda. Okay, got it. Now again, if we check our input dot head, okay, so our diagnosis column is now replaced with binary values with only 1 and 0. Okay, now from input we should drop axis 1, then we should drop our diagnosis as diagnosis is our target. Okay, in place true, place true. So now if we again see what we have in our input, so describe input dot describe, then you will see we have age, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, heart rate and BMI. We have also count, mean, STD. Okay, lots of different features. Now it's the time of creating our features and our target. So our features is, let's copy this. I have to copy from BMI to age and let's place it into our features. Okay, features dot shape. So our features is 100 row with 5 columns. Now same with target, input DIA diagnosis, target dot shape. You'd have okay, so I have to wrap it with another third bracket. No, diagnosis, target is equals to diagnosis. None of index diagnosis object are in the column. Okay, yes, sure. We have done one mistake. Actually, what we should have done, we should have changed this name to diagnosis, so that when we are dropping this diagnosis function, we are only keeping this diagnosis. Okay, so let's run this. We have run that. No, diagnosis, hypertension, okay, then input, then if we drop it, which we can drop columns, describe. Okay, so diagnosis. Okay, so we have our target with one row and like one column with 100 rows. Now it's time for to call us some more libraries, which is sklearn dot model selection, import tender split, and as well sklearn dot tree, import decision tree classifier. Let's run this. Okay, now it's time for us to train our model. So for that, xtrain, xtest, same with ytrain, ytest. Let's call our function train test split with features, target, and let's keep our test size as 0.20, mean 80% for our training and 20% for our testing. Train test plate, come on. Okay, now we have to train our model, right? So decision tree classifier, here I'll be only using Gini index for the criterion. So criterion is, let's say, Gini index, and max depth I'm taking 7. Okay, good. Max depth 7. Now it's time to train our model. How do we do that? Model within function xtrain and ytrain. Model.fit. It's done. Now if we check the score of this particular model, which would be 97%. Okay. Yeah. Now if we check the score with respect to our score, right? So it would be x test comma y test, which is around 70%, which is pretty okay. Now the main importance of using decision tree that I feel is to tell you that which features of your input is actually the most important one. So for that we can use this syntax, which is model dot features underscore importance. Okay, importances underscore. Decision tree classifier have no attribute features importance. Why is that? Okay, that it's actually a feature. So from this we can see that BMI, like if we use Gini index as our criterion, then BMI is getting our most important features. Okay, it might change with respect to entropy as your criterion. It might change if we use the rand index as your criterion, so that it depends. Okay, now let's simply predict what our model is predicting. So model dot predict, simply what we'll do, we'll input some values over here, 80 comma 200 comma 70 comma 28. Okay, now let's see what it gives us. Okay, reshape your data 125 80. I think there is one mistake with our reshaping. Okay, we actually, in first we have age. All right, all right, all right. So yeah, okay, so it's actually expecting 2D array, but we are giving it 1D array, so it won't work. So it's 0. So diagnosis value would be 0. So there is, so that particular patient doesn't have hypertension. Okay, so that's it. for this decision tree model. Thanks for watching.